Bluey's animation has remained so stubbornly similar that you'd think it hasn't changed at all. However, its animation has actually changed more times than you probably realize. Today we're going through every single time the show swapped its animation, from tiny changes all the way up until a secret version at the end. Let's start with an episode you probably know really well, because this episode is The Weekend, and is hiding something in plain sight. Watch it very closely, because Bluey doesn't quite look right. Her nose is a dull brown when it should be a shiny black. The markings on her face are darker than normal, and Bingo has a longer snout with completely different patterns on her back. Bandit is missing the dark blue patch on the left side of his face, and the yellow on his belly is gone too. Why does the entire family just look slightly off? Well, there is a real reason for that. The Weekend started life as a test episode made a whole year before the show came out, and when the team turned it into episode 6 of season 1, they reused a bunch of old footage. That means you can watch a normal season 1 episode today, and you'll be looking at the leftover pieces of a version of Bluey that never even existed. From an episode that was never supposed to see the light of day, we're gonna jump straight into one the whole show wanted you to notice. Escape is an episode that throws the entire art style out the window. The healers are driving to Nana's house, and the kids are told they can't watch TV. So Mum and Dad start describing the relaxing day they're gonna have without them. The moment their imaginations kick in, the show turns into a kid's drawing. Every character becomes this scribbled drawing. The backgrounds look like they're done with crayons, and it stays that way for most of the episode. Bluey and Bingo chase their parents through this drawn-out dream house car with burger shops and a spa on the balcony. Mum and Dad escape in a helicopter, the wheels turn into rockets, the girls parachute after them in a flying spa, Bingo pelts them with cupcakes that Chili happily gobbles up mid-chase, and a butler dog named Jerry Lee keeps switching sides depending on who pays him, right up until the parents bribe him with their coconut drinks, and he tows their electric scooters away on a motorbike. The show keeps cutting between the doodle world and a real car, so you're watching two completely different animation styles trade places for 7 straight minutes. And the art team have said that the doodle designs were made by studying actual children's drawing to get them right. Sleepy Time is an episode that changes the look of the show in the opposite direction, because instead of getting simpler, everything suddenly gets huge and super detailed. Bingo falls asleep reading a space book with Mum, and her dream drops her into outer space with her toy bunny Floppy. The planets look like they were pulled straight out of a real space documentary. Big glowing painted worlds hanging in the dark, and tiny Bingo floats between them, minding no care in the world. She bounces across Neptune, plays on Jupiter, and finds Saturn's rings are made of hundreds of floppies. This is when her bunny asks to stay behind with the others. When Bingo drifts out to the cold edge of the solar system, she spots the sun far away and moves towards the warmth. Obviously, the sun turns out to be her mother, promising she'll always be there whenever she needed her. The whole time this is happening, the real Bingo is sleepwalking through the house while her exhausted family plays musical beds around her. And when Bluey and Bandit fight over the blankets in the big bed, Dream Bingo gets flung through space with every tug until one giant pull sends her flying off the planet completely. It's the same characters you watch every day, dropped into this huge, super detailed, almost majestic art style. And this episode, due to its insane animation and story, earned it numerous awards. Then season 3 said, wait a second, I think we can go even further, so they made the episode Dragon. It's an episode where the animation changes 4 different times at once. Bluey draws herself as a fairy with marker scribbles and stick arms. Bandit joins in and draws himself as a barbarian with big muscly arms and a badly drawn horse called Doug, who Bluey points out looks like a donkey. And then Chili sits down and quietly drops a beautiful watercolor drawing of herself on a horse. Bingo adds herself in crayon, riding a motorbike into the middle of an old-time fairy tale story. Here's the detail most people miss. Each family member's drawings were designed by different artists at the studio, so every character genuinely draws in their own style for the entire episode. And Chili's painted look was inspired by the watercolor work of Miyazaki, the legendary Studio Ghibli director. The drawn world takes over completely as a family battles Humpty Dumpty, gets thrown around by a hungry talking tree, and faces a dragon that Bluey defeats with her fairy magic by turning it into a handbag. And when the cave starts collapsing around them, Bandit saves everyone by drawing a red car with a bull bar so they can smash their way through the falling boulders. That, of course, is right before Chili's horse says goodbye, sprouts wings, and flies off as a Pegasus. There's even a memory spell that shows Bandit as a 6-year-old kid, drawn in his own scratchy style, drawing pictures of cars at school, until a classmate named Bucky Dunstan makes fun of one, and little Bandit screws up his drawing and shoves it in his desk. The episode is secretly about why Dad stopped drawing, told through the exact animation styles the family uses. Nothing else in this show comes close to what was shown here. The episode Camping changes the animation in a way that lasts about 30 seconds and hits harder than anything else on this list. Bluey meets a young kid named Jean-Luc on a camping trip, and even though he only speaks French, they become best friends. They build a house out of sticks and plant a tree together. Then one morning, his family's campsite is empty. He's gone without a goodbye, and Bluey sits down next to the tree they planted and cries. Time skips forward. The seed has grown into a full tree, and standing next to it is a Bluey we have never seen before. She's a teenager, and with a little tuft of hair on her head, drawn as an older version of the design we know. She turns around, and there's teenage Jean-Luc as well, greeting her in English this time. The show had to invent aged-up versions of its characters from scratch just for this ending, and it was the first time Bluey was ever shown to us as an older person. The show clearly liked that trick, because Surprise pulled it off again and on a much bigger scale. The episode itself is normal, with Bandit stuck playing two clashing games at once, dodging tennis balls from Bluey's cyborg launcher while protecting Bingo's pretend babies. Then the final minute jumps years ahead, when an adult Bluey walks back into the family home. Chili is older and wearing glasses. Bandit's hearing isn't what it used to be, and both of them have some grey hairs coming in. And the picture frames on the wall have become moving scenes, showing photos from the years we skipped. The doorbell rings, Bandit opens it, and standing outside is a little puppy holding a futuristic toy launcher, exactly the way Bluey did at the start of the episode. Bandit just says, "Oh no," and the episode ends there. The studio later revealed that the artist had to fully design grown-up Bluey, elderly mum and dad, and the mystery child, with pages of sketches and rejected versions, all for about 60 seconds of screen time. An entire future generation of animation was built for just this one scene. So now we go backwards, all the way before episode 1, which brings us to the one episode I promised you at the start, the version of Bluey that was never allowed anywhere near a TV screen. Back in 2016, the very first Bluey ever made was a 1-minute test, and almost everything about it is wrong. Bluey is younger, small enough that she arrives at the playground in a stroller. She has 5 spots on her back, where she's only ever had 3. Her voice is different. The story itself is the reason it got buried. Bandit pushes Bluey on a swing while playing a fruit slicing game on his phone called Salad Dodger. Bluey screams to go higher, and he pushes her so hard she flies all the way around the bar in a full 360. When she swings back down and smashes into Bandit and knocks him flat on the ground, and nobody even checks if he's okay, because Bluey just squeals with joy and asks to go again while he laughs on the dirt. The show's creator Joe Brum has openly admitted it was too dangerous to ever broadcast, and when it was shown to TV bosses, one of them asked if it felt more like a Family Guy run than a Peppa Pig series. Netflix watched it and passed on the whole show. The pilot sat locked away for 7 years until an anonymous source leaked it in early 2023. And here's the thing, the biggest animation change in Bluey history hasn't even happened yet, because the upcoming Bluey movie is ditching the flat 2D style entirely, and rebuilding the healers in CG for the big screen. Every change on this list was the show experimenting, and now the whole thing is about to transform for good. Now if you want to see what the healers might look like when that movie lands, make sure you subscribe. Now I just want to give a big thank you to you guys for 10,000 subscribers. It's been a long time coming, and it means the absolute world to me. So thank you for watching.